I bet you've seen a lot of videos on YouTube explaining why you should quit your 9 to 5 and become an entrepreneur. These videos on doing what you're passionate about and making more money and having more flexible schedule. This is another type of video though, and it's going to reveal the ugly truth about being an entrepreneur based on personal experience that almost no one shares. Worldwide, only 6% of people choose to be entrepreneurs. In the US, this number is a little higher, it's about 16%, but it's still very low, and there is a reason behind that. Actually, a lot of reasons. I used to work for an IT company and then I quit to run my own business. So as I have some experience being an employee and being an entrepreneur, I'm going to share some real-life disadvantages that I faced when I quit to run my own business. And the reason I'm creating this video is because I often feel that the disadvantages of having your own business are often downplayed and even ignored. Because quitting your 9 to 5 and becoming your own boss and making a lot of money, this all sounds very sexy. But if you're about to make this important decision right now, you need to keep a level head and consider various scenarios, including the ones that are not as optimistic as you might imagine in the beginning. So I gathered all day-to-day life disadvantages I faced while being an entrepreneur in 2 different countries so that you know the flip side of the coin. And just a quick disclaimer, the topic of whether to stay in paid employment or become an entrepreneur is so broad. So this is just one of the few videos I'm recording on this topic, and it's particularly focused on disadvantages of becoming an entrepreneur. So if you're interested, check out this playlist. And one more extremely important thing, I don't want to discourage you from starting your own business in any way. I just believe this decision is very important, and you need to be aware of the downside to avoid any regrets. So here are 6 reasons why you might regret becoming an entrepreneur. Let's go. First, financial uncertainty.
It's salary day! Time for shopping! La 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 la. Time for salary.
Do you love this pleasant feeling when your heart is like warm butter sliding down the toast? The one you get when you get a notification about your salary being transferred to a bank account. Regardless of whether your income is low or average or above average, if you're employed, in most countries, that means that you'll be getting your salary next month, the month after that, and that just makes life more predictable, right? You can plan your life, buy a house, have kids, schedule your vacation, because next month you'll be getting more money to cover all the expenses. So what happens when you quit your job to run your own business? That of course depends on your niche, on your business model, but in most cases, I would say that you can never be sure how much money is coming in next month. And even if you had a profitable month, who knows what will happen next month? The lack of stability is definitely one of the factors that might make entrepreneurship less attractive. You might experience some fluctuations in income and some unforeseen issues as well. To give you an example, let's say that you have an online store and you have a payment system through which you're accepting payments from customers. So one day you just wake up, read your emails, and then one of the emails says that this payment system has blocked your account. And you might think that only happens when you did something wrong or illegal, but in real life it's not like that. It only takes 3 or 4 customers who file a chargeback, and then most payment systems will flag you as a high-risk customer and they won't work with you anymore. Another example, you have just launched your advertising campaign through Facebook and it's going well, you have received a few orders and you expect the revenue to go up next month, but then all of a sudden your ad campaign is blocked and your ad account is also blocked, and that's just something that happens daily. And yes, it's true that in most cases you can reverse it, but all in all it takes a lot of time to appeal, to deal with this issue, and that might be quite unexpected. Bottom line, to avoid financial uncertainty, if you're about to quit your job, have savings. Please set up an emergency fund. And I know I sound like Captain Obvious here, but having experienced that in my own life, I know it's really ugly. Sometimes Even if you have this emergency fund, sometimes it's just gets blocked and you don't have access to it. Hopefully that will never happen to you. How much this emergency fund needs to be? Of course, that depends, but I'd say if it allows you to cover all your expenses for a year, and better 2 years, you're pretty safe. Second, forget about loans and mortgage.
Something's missing in my life. Should I buy a new phone? Maybe a new car? Wait, maybe I should buy an apartment. Hi, I would love to know what my mortgage can be.
Hi, of course. Let me see your documents.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, you can buy any apartment. Hi, I would really love to find out more about the mortgage.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Oh, you have your own company. And you want a mortgage?
Sorry, honey. Come back in 3 years. Do you use loans as a tool to get what you need a little bit sooner? When you have a stable job, most banks will easily approve your mortgage or loans because you're their ideal target audience. You have stable income. But if you're going to become an entrepreneur, you will need to revise your relationship with loans. You might as well forget about this option. And again, it's different from country to country. Of course, that depends on the size of your business. Of course, that depends on the history, the background that you have. But in most cases, in most countries, when you're self-employed or you have your own company and you're only starting, it's extremely difficult to get any types of loans, let alone mortgage. So you basically have two options here. You either earn a lot, like a massive amount of money so that you don't need any loans or mortgages ever in your life, or you'd better have all of these things arranged before you quit your job. I mean, if you need to take a mortgage, do it beforehand. Number 3, renting an apartment might become also challenging.
I really love the apartment.
Of course, let me see your employment contract.
Here are my documents. Thank you. Okay, so you're employed. No kids, no animals.
Great! You have been chosen by the landlord.
Thank you, but you haven't even called.
It's not necessary.
I really love this apartment. Here are my documents.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all the documents you submitted.
Here's your ID, your KVK extract, your company's accounting information, your birth certificate, apostilled and translated into 87 languages. Good. The confirmation of your existence. Good. Your readiness to donate your organs to the landlord if something happens is quite impressive. All right. Oh, here's your DNA test with your life expectancy. So 80 years. Good. So you'll be alive this year. That's also nice. Oh, and here's your 10x deposit and payment for 1 year in advance. That's also nice. Thank you. I'll talk to the landlord. Sorry, they have chosen another candidate, but you haven't even called. It's not necessary.
Do you rent an apartment? I bet if you have a job, you might have never faced any issues while renting a place. Unless your salary is really below average, most landlords will be happy to have you because you have stable income and you can pay the rent without any hassle. When I moved to the Netherlands and started to look for a place to rent, I was shocked at how difficult it is to find accommodation when you're an entrepreneur. To do that, in most cases, you will need at least 3 close financial years and some solid history and some good turnover on your company. Where are you supposed to live if you're not 3 years in the business? Next, your deposit will always be higher than for an employed person. If an employed person has to leave 1 month deposit, For a self-employed person, it's 3 months. And actually, most landlords won't even consider you as a tenant because you're associated with more risk. And of course, it's not only about the Netherlands, because entrepreneurs, are not seen as the most reliable tenants worldwide. 4. Health risks.
Oh, I got cold. Maybe I should go see a doctor. Oh my god, is it serious? That might be a pneumonia. I have to do x-rays and then some special treatment that my insurance doesn't cover. I'll just go bankrupt.
I bet you are aware of that, but let me remind you, as an entrepreneur, you are the only person responsible for your health. Again, in 98%, paid employment in a good company, especially if that's an IT company, will provide you various benefits and a very good insurance. You might have your dental services covered, school for your kids covered, your relocation package, your gym membership. So if you're quitting your job, make sure you know the cost of these benefits, because if you're making 5,000 euro as an employee and 5,000 euro as an entrepreneur, these are two different figures which are not equal in any way. Because when you're employed, you might not have to pay for a lot of services due to your insurance or benefits package from your employer. 5. You'll often feel like you're failing. Okay, that is not universal, and of course your experience might be different depending on how psychologically prepared you are for such type of experience. But here's what might happen to an average person. When you're employed in most positions, you are doing the same thing over and over again. And it's not bad. That makes you a great professional. And as you grow as a professional and as a person, you become more and more confident about the way things in your professional area work. It becomes more and more predictable for you.
As a salesperson, I bring 8+ years of experience in the tech industry, achieving over $1 million in sales a quarter over the past 5 years. Throughout my career, I earned the trust of several national and international companies and maintaining strong relationships in my industry. Within the last year, I've topped our leaderboard 6 out of 10 months.
You have this specific area you're really, really good at, and you have this feeling of self-worth. And you know that you can do things that other people just don't even know how to approach. When you're self-employed, you have to explore a sea of uncertainty and a variety of tasks you never prepared yourself for. And it's compulsory to have an ability to switch between these tasks fast. So let's say you have an online store. You have to select your inventory, order it, receive it, launch a marketing campaign, do some social media activity. And all of these tasks you perform have to meet a certain criteria, a certain level standard of quality. Otherwise, it's just a total waste of time. You're doing a variety of tasks in very different areas. How would that influence your identity? How would that affect your self-worth? If asked a question, what do you do for a living? An employed person would easily say, oh, I'm a software developer, or I'm a marketing manager, or I'm a salesperson. But who are you? That's actually a question I was struggling with for a very long time. Moreover, you feel like you do a lot, but out of 10 tasks, 7 will not bring you the results you were hoping for. And depending on how strong you are psychologically, how prepared you are for this experience, that might bring up feelings of guilt, remorse, and the feeling that you're constantly failing. And it can actually take a toll on your mental and physical health, leading to burnout and stress. As an entrepreneur, you must wear many hats, including marketing, sales, product management. And while you may have strengths in some areas, it might be challenging to be an expert in all of them. If you are not prepared to continuously educate yourself and learn new skills, running a successful business might become challenging. Truth is, all of this stuff can undermine your self-confidence. When you fail 7 out of 10 times, and that's an optimistic perspective, you will almost inevitably feel like a failure at some point. So I feel you have to have a really mature personality before you engage in your own business. And the last point we need to discuss is responsibility.
My marketing kit is superb. The sales team are not trained though, so they're not gonna sell a lot, but it's not my problem. My part is done. So the marketing kit is done. Now I need to take a course on selling. I hate selling. Maybe I should hire a salesperson.
We as a society tend to see all the benefits, all the advantages of having your own business. Being passionate about what you do, making more money, having a more flexible schedule. Being an entrepreneur feels like a dream come true. And it's true that in most niches, you can make more money than when you're employed. But have you ever thought, why? Do you know the real reason people pay you when you run your own business? You're paid for responsibility. You are selling a promise to a customer, but any problem happens, you need to resolve it, and most probably by yourself. And something goes wrong pretty much every day. The payment system decides to close down your account. Your employees get sick. Your supplier does not supply their goods on time. So you need to be prepared to work long hours, the weekends, and if you love to watch Netflix every day in the evening, you might not be able to do so when you're self-employed. As the age-old saying goes, the grass is always greener on the other side. In today's society, entrepreneurship is often romanticized and seen as a pinnacle of success, the ultimate way to achieve your financial freedom and build the life designed by you. However, the reality of entrepreneurship is often far different from this idealistic picture, and it might not be the path for everyone. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? If you're an entrepreneur, are there any other things you regretted? And if you're currently thinking about quitting your job, did all of this make sense to you? Let me know what you think, and if this video was interesting, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and see you next week.